It's time to check it out again as we talk about Apple and Spotify. We talk about some Huawei. We got some other Apple stuff going on with Jony Ive. And much, much more as we, together, as a people, check it out. Alright, welcome to another super cool Saturday. This is Mike, and this is Mike Checks It Out, where we talk about the best stories of the week that I could find off the internet, like a hobo dumpster diving. So let's dive right in. The first thing is not really news, but it's kind of news. The iOS, iPadOS, and macOS betas, public betas, which means for us, if you want to go there, they released this week, right? They released! They're out! Okay, I haven't dove in on those because I'm very picky about doing the beta thing. Jeff installed the TVOS beta, and I was like, okay, now I can test the controller support and pair my Xbox One controller with the Apple TV and play some HD games on the Steam Link. And then I did that, and the Steam Link just crashes, the app. So, very sad, but I might dive in, see what's going on. If you did, let me know in the comments how it is, especially iPadOS. That's what I'm the most curious about. Might do it. I don't know. I use my iPad for some pretty important stuff. I don't know about it. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see. Speaking of Apple, in our next story, they're still beefing with Spotify. So it's kind of been this back and forth thing with Spotify because they don't want to pay the Apple tax that any subscription-based app has to pay that takes subscriptions directly on an iOS device. So Apple collects a certain percentage of money from these developers to be like, hey, you can collect monies on our store if you pay us or if you cut us in. So there was this whole recent thing where Apple's like, Spotify claimed that they were paying this much, and Apple's like, nah, it's only 15%. And that's only on 0.05% of its users. So Spotify would have only been, no one cares. Stop fighting. Grow up. I ain't got time for this. How much money y'all got? We know what this is really about. It's about Apple Music versus Spotify. Now y'all being all catty and stuff. Why can't y'all just get along? It's always about the money. Always about the money. Just get along, or Spotify just continue doing what they're doing where you can't subscribe through an Apple device. It's fine unless you go directly to the website. That's fine. I personally have never cared about signing up for something directly through an app. The only time I download an app is when I already have the service. Anyway, who cares? Stop fighting. Crying and stuff. Speaking of I ain't got time for, you know what I ain't got time for? No notches on my phone. I need that under the screen camera, front facing camera that's completely hidden. So I'm talking about Oppo, popular phone manufacturer for some lower priced or mid-range Android phones. In China, via Engadget, they were showing off their prototype basically for the phone with the under display front facing camera. It looked a little bit weird, like, so the patch where the camera is, like, technically it's covered by the screen, and then when you use the front facing camera, then it'll clear up, become transparent so that way the camera can see through it. So there's two issues that were kind of pointed out, from other reactions I saw about this, and that's the part of the screen that has the camera is really pixelated. Now you can definitely tell that there's something there, and it looks weird. And then two, the camera quality, at least from the prototype, was not that great. So maybe it's a solution to the notch if the technology is right, but I don't know. There's so many different approaches right now to solve a problem that to me is not really that big of a deal. Like, I really don't care about the notch, but I do think it's a cool concept. It's a cool technology concept to kind of have like an invisible 007 secret agent style thing. It's like, it's actually a camera. And just imagine that, like if that technology takes off in the future, you could buy a TV and then like the whole underscreen of the TV could be a camera, so that way companies can just spy on you all the time. That's what I want. Like my refrigerator, like imagine my whole refrigerator is just cameras. I don't even know it, and I'm like, I'm out of milk, and then like an Amazon person's at my door in 2 seconds, and they already got the milk because they know they've been spying on me. That's what I want. I want to get spied on. Give me the milk. In our next story, Hue, popular smart bulb maker, is releasing these new hot bulbs that don't require a hub. They're going to be Bluetooth only. Oh, nobody cares? Yeah, that was kind of my reaction. And it's not that I don't care. It's just that, for one, I already have the Hue hub. And the Hue hub is honestly fantastic for what you can do with it. Control your lights when you're away from home. It works pretty fast. You can have up to 50 bulbs paired to it. This one, you only have up to 10 bulbs. And they can't be grouped the same way. Like you can't set up rooms and stuff like you can with the Hue hub. Also, anyone who's had a Bluetooth bulb before knows that they kind of suck because you have such a limited range that you can control them with. Even though apparently they work with the Echo and then, you know, the Google Tastic devices, Google Home and all that stuff. So they are going to have that support, but I'm curious as to how the functionality is going to be. I have 2 Bluetooth bulbs right now, and they're fine, I guess, when you're close to them, but it just feels limited in comparison to what Hue offers with their hub. But I think they're just looking to capitalize on that market that don't want to put the money down for the hub and spend like $40 to $50 to get one of the kits that have it. So this is like, if you're window shopping or something like that, you can go get a bulb right now. No strings attached, so that's the market that they're looking to go after. I don't think that they're probably going to be as popular as their regular bulbs, especially when it comes to the limitations. But it's probably fine for someone that has like a small apartment and I'm like, oh, I need 1 bulb just for this lamp or something like that. Whatever. Do what you do, Hue, and Hue it right. Get it? Instead of do it right, I said Hue it. All right, coming back on the smartphone train. That was bad. That was real bad. The Sony Xperia One will come with their high-end headphones, the WH-1000 XM3s. Took me a while to get that right. So if you pre-order the Xperia One, you get the headphones for free if you want that phone. Now, I'm definitely not saying to go pre-order a phone. But if you're already like, oh, I'm already going to get this phone. Like if you're upgrading from a previous model of that phone, and like you know you're going to get it, it seems like a pretty good deal to pre-order that jank, to get those headphones. I mean, I have those headphones if you've seen my video on them. But, like, for it to come with a phone, that's a pretty good deal. Sony's making it happen. I mean, personally, I'm not interested in having a Sony Android phone. But Sony's making it happen, so it can happen for you if you want it. I'm just saying it's a good deal. Alright, getting down to the nitty-gritty. It broke, it was the day before or the day before yesterday, that Jony Ive is leaving Apple. Now, if you're not familiar with who Jony Ive is, he's basically the design guru that through Apple's golden age up until this point. Like, you're talking about the huge iMac, the colorful ones, you're talking about the iPods, you're talking about the iPhone, like a lot of their major product, the MacBook design, that's Jony Ive. So he's leaving to start his own firm. Apparently Apple said that there's still going to be a client of his once he starts his own firm. So he's still going to be working with Apple. He just won't be working directly for Apple anymore, which obviously would give him a lot more freedom. And Apple's product line, let's be honest, it's been a little stagnant. They haven't really done anything new and exciting since the iPhone 10, which is going to be, it's kind of up in the air if that's exciting or not, because to me it was kind of like them playing catch up with Samsung design wise, but my opinion anyway. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Like obviously they're going to get someone else to fill that role. It might be good to bring in some new ideas for designs to kind of get people excited again, but his designs have been really good, so he shall be missed by me as a fan. We'll see if his predecessor can wow me, blow my pants off with the designs. In our final story, popular Chinese company Hula Hoop. It's Huawei. That's what I said. Anyway, Huawei has been granted a sort of a break by the US government with this whole ban that's going on. So the government is going to allow hardware manufacturers to sell hardware to Huawei still. Yay, that lifts that part of the ban. But technically the rest of it still stands. So I'm guessing if that's right, that only affects hardware sales. So companies like Google probably still can't do business with them to provide them, Android and that kind of stuff. But I guess that's good news for Huawei and better news for the companies that were supplying hardware to Huawei, because that was probably a large part of their business. So it's a step in the right direction. Why can't we all just get along? Why are we always beefing? And I'm tired of beefing, so I'm bringing this episode to a close. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to tell a friend, tell a coworker, like, share, and subscribe, and always do at least 2 things at the same time. Peace.